Welcome to the Kaizorian experience. Over here, we're going to be talking about everything African. We're going to be having debates, discussions, entertainment, as well as learning about business, art, history, and everything in between. Cultural, tribalism, and everything. We're going to be out here debating with some really interesting stuff. So like the video, share the video, and make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Subscribe for the best experience ever. This is the biggest channel on the Afrosphere. So come and join the team, become a Kaizorian, and join the Kaizorian Empire.
Universally exist within myself, within this premise, and I exist within this bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like the blue in the sky. I'ma fly like bird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma throw my bluebird in the sky. I'ma soar like bluebird in the sky. I'ma soar like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fight like bluebird in the sky. I'ma eat like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be bluebird in the sky. I'ma be free, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be free like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. Back again like the second coming. Strumming my vocal cords like the hummingbird in the sky. Y'all can't deny this. Real rap lyrics, it's like I ain't got no rhyming through the sky limit. What is skin tone, shade of color, but a parallel form of frequency like a ringtone on your phone. Melanin expression, tied up in the universe, feeling like gods. Is this really us? Is it serious? Is it really wrong to be diverse? I'm a divergent, immerse myself like an ocean beneath this waves. Be a divergent, born to be different. Indigo child, wild like canary. Born to be a bluebird in the sky, flying high like a bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly high, bluebird in the sky. Yeah, bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly high, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. Everybody scream bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly high, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. Yeah, bluebird in the sky. Everybody, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like born black, sweet like a berry. Flying high, high like a canary. Scary with my hoodie on. Hating on my vibe on the street that you'll be feeling my frequency of the song. But I know that I ain't never ever gonna be ever the same. But I know.
Shalom, shalom, mother loving one. What's good? What's good? We've got 3 people in the stream. What's good? All 3 of you over there. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit the super chat. Support Black and African media. It is Christmas today, as of 1:46 a.m. Kenyan time. Send a fast super chat to support Black and African streamers over here, so that we can go and pay for an expensive Christmas party. No money will go to any dusties, right? All money will be spent on my fetishes. But anyways, without too much waiting, we're gonna go and address the topic of discussion, right? What's dating like for Black women in Korea? Should they go out there and replace Black men? What's good? What's good, Caesar over there, man? Can Black women ever find dates in Korea? Well, they can find the dates. Can they make sure that their dates turn into mates? That's the conversation. But Caesar, drop a fast super chat. Support Kaizorian Empire Media, the most anti-African media on the planet, but yet at the same time bringing Africans together. But yeah, let me go share the video and then we can begin the conversation. Get it, right? Oh, when I say let's get it, right, it's supposed to start the video. So I'll say it again. Let's get it.
Had like in a dating scene out here in Korea as a Black woman?
I was dating.
Bro, look at those features, right? Look at that long, luscious black hair, nice aquiline nose, lips that look like they were designed to be the evil spirit in the Garden of Eden, right? Eyes looking a little bit Asiatic over there. Maybe she's mixed, but yeah, she's looking like fire. Shout out to the sister over there.
dating this guy 2 years ago. The whole time this man was texting me like, "Ah, I wish you were with me." He was with his fucking girlfriend.
Do you think the country you're from plays an important part in the dating scene in Korea?
Definitely. So I'm from Africa. I would say like guess where I'm from, and they expect me to come from like France or America or something like that. They think it's cool to come from.
Yo, Caesar, yeah, bro, I appreciate the $5. Yeah, no joke. I appreciate that shit. Yeah, but how the mother loving fuck did you get that shit done even before I could start my video? That shit is some crazy ass fire, man. That's why I rocks with you, man. It means if I ever do business with you, niggas like you is gonna be out here doing shit on time, man. I don't know. I don't really believe you're white. I'm sorry, you're black. I never seen you on a video call. You sound like someone from Seattle or Denver, and you out here in African streams. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. Definitely a little bit out of touch, right? You niggas is too fast to be African. Shout out, Flex Up says, I made it to both the high IQ and low IQ streams today. Yeah, Flex Up, that was interesting. Did you come in for the East African stream earlier before I did the stream with Ike and Dr. Thunder? I don't know if you're there. That was it wasn't really that low IQ, but yeah. Today you're doing better, man. You're doing better.
From there.
What are the stereotypes, like men have a view out here?
The stereotype is that I will sleep with them at the first jump without whining and dining. I'll just be like, See, here's the problem, right? These are obviously Black American sisters. There's one Ethiopian sister as well over there, the one that was seen second. How are you going to be out here holding your JJ as if it's some special prize against Black men, but be out there opening it up to a Korean in the first date? Right? Is this why the manosphere exists? Because of women like this? What's going on? You're supposed to be treating Africans like kings. Not be out here disrespecting. What's good, jug season? It's been a while. Hopefully you're doing well, and Merry Christmas to you, brother. Let's celebrate the white man's religion and his culture. Shout out to you. all right, so you ready to go to the hotel?
Where you from?
I'm from Boston in the US.
How long have you been in Korea?
A little over 2 years.
As a Black woman, have you gone on dates out here in Korea?
Yes, a few. They were eventful a lot of the time, but I actually have a boyfriend, and I've been with him for a year and 5 months now.
So you say you've been on dates.
Sis, you are beautiful. As I mentioned earlier, man, your lips look like they were designed to be the sweet nectar that led mankind away from the Garden of Eden. Your nose is beautiful and aquiline. You got nice skin. You got nice hair. Why is you out here wasting your time dating at some skinny ass Koreans? You should be out here with a brother like Jug Season, with a brother like Caesar. Right? This is the problem with the international relationships. We don't give them our worst. We give them our best. Right? Shout out to you, sis, but definitely come back to the right side. Come back to the black side.
How was that experience so far?
There was a lot of like uncomfortable pressure by the guys to like do things, even though I'd like really shown no interest in like that type of sexual stuff. There was like, oh,
Sis, you are going to a culture that does not have the crazy winky stuff, like when you are 69, if you can count, and those things. So you're going to a culture like that, and then you're expecting them to treat you like another girl from Korea. No, sis. They see you as an American girl, and not just American girl, but a Black American girl. They've been watching Ghetto Gagas. They have been seeing how Black girls be treating the men, doing all the good stuff. So of course they're expecting you to be doing that. Why do you think white women want a big bad Bantu? Why do you think Somali women want a big bad Bantu? It's because they know the stereotypes. That's why they got you out there. So if you don't want to be doing, find you a nice Black man from the church named Bernard or Akintunde if he's in Nigeria. Caesar says, I'll try a Caesar accent. I'm sure they get dates, but a typical Korean man can't bring a dark-skinned woman home to family. Yeah, and I'm going to show you when a Chinese brings a Black woman to the family, right? Because there's all this stuff is related. Shout out to you, Flexed Up over there laughing. Juju, shout out to you. And also, Juju, drop your PayPal. I'll send you your Christmas gift.
to you, sis. I know you've been neglecting me these days. You only say hi to one man. You don't say hi to me. All right. I know what I did wrong, but I'm not sorry. But happy holidays and Merry Christmas in advance. Hope we all cross over to the new year. Whether we cross over or not, I just hope that we all rich, right? Jug Season says, Juju, I keep coming to New York City and we never link. Shout out to you. Make sure you link with Juju. Give her a good time so she leaves all these Nigerian old men alone and finds a nice young Black American brother like you, Jug Season. No, she doesn't even have a high voice. She has like a nice sort of voice. Lol, I didn't know. Oh my God, sorry, Jog Season. Every time I'm like thinking about messaging you, a big bad Bantu Nigerian comes on my page. Literally comes on it. So sorry, Jug, but maybe next time. Jug Season says, lol, yeah, you never open my snaps anymore. Exactly. See, how did I know that as my fake Juju if niggas like me ain't on check?
Oh, let's go to a room, let's go do this. But almost every single time I went on a date, like that's what they ended up like wanting. I'd always leave and they'd like get mad. So
Why do you think they act that way towards Black women, or let's say towards you?
it's definitely not just me. I would say Black women, honestly, like foreigners in general, but especially Black women. I've found that people will be more, I guess, aggressive, and I think it's largely.
Yeah, because you are a plaything, right? Like it's like you niggas don't know this shit, right? I've been to not Korea, I've been to Japan, lived there. I went there to meet my girlfriend at the time, right? Japan, if you look at these cultures, right? East Asia, especially Korea and Japan. China is weird. China is a whole different story, right? They look at you as some kind of prop for their sexual fantasies. So don't go there thinking you're gonna find a husband. Remember that girl from South Africa, the one that went to Korea and China? She had racism. She even got punched in the face, right? They don't want you, Black woman, right? Only a real Black king is gonna want you, right? Someone like Caesar, right? Obviously, I'm taken, right? So I can't want you, but there are people that want you out there, Black woman. Shout out to Juju. She says, "This is why I can't be nice to you. His ass." What do you mean nice to my ass? I don't want you giving me some prostate massage. All right, Caesar says, my white friends would sleep.
Because of like the media representation of Black women.
What stereotypes would you say Korean men have of you as a Black woman in the dating scene?
That we would immediately back you down to like sleep with them. I'm a very introverted person, and the one thing that I hear the most.
Lies. You are a guy. You're a gaijin. Okay, I'm using Japanese, terminologies. I don't really know much Korean, to be honest. But for Sawadee Cap, I think that's even Thai. It's not even Korean. Yeah, I don't know much Korean, right? I know more Japanese, but you're a gaijin, right? In Japanese culture, you're a foreigner, right? And foreigners, by the simple definition that you left your country to go to another country, learn their culture, learn their language, and then date their men, it means that you're open to so much more, right? That's why they approach you that way, because they know they can't approach their own women that way and expect to get the same results. Like, let me give you a context, right? So when I used to date Ethiopian women, right, specifically Habesha, they'll tell me like, oh, I can't suck your dick because it's against my culture. I told them I don't give a shit about your culture. You're either going to do it or you don't. And if you don't, it is what it is, right? But these cultures, right, have certain expectations. And you as a Black woman, you are a sexualized fantasy for them. They want to experience King Kong's sister so that they can see how it is. Is it different? Right? Is the ass really that big? Right? Does she suck dick that well? That's why you're there. Let's be realistic. Right? Stop the cap.
From everyone, but especially from men, is like, wow, you're not at all like how I thought a Black person would be. And I'm like, oh, okay. Again, it's all based off of like stereotypes. So they'll expect us to be like loud and like overly sexual, like aggressive and all of that stuff. So
yeah, with that voice is, you're definitely overly sexual, right? You just want to do it in a way that you feel comfortable. But definitely, that ain't no voice, that ain't no demeanor of someone that is out there like a prune. You ain't no prune. And I know that, right, sis? I definitely know it. Let's see what the chat says. Many white dudes sleep with Black women to lose their virginity or to try out crazy sexual fantasies they wouldn't want to do with their white angel girls. I agree with you, right? Juju says, white girls are smarter. They keep their hoism in silence. Juju says, white girls and Asians be out here fucking like crazy in New York. They're just smarter. Flex Up says, what do y'all? I can't do a Flex Up accent, man. Fulani accent is definitely difficult for me, man. I gotta like go on 3 steps of Dusty before I can do that. So I won't even attempt that shit.
Earlier on, you mentioned that you have a boyfriend. So can you walk us through that? Like, how did you guys meet?
We met at my friend's birthday party, and his friend was invited, and the friend invited him. So it's like we don't know really the person whose birthday party it was, but like that's where we met.
What would you say are the cultural differences that impact your dating now here, like as a black woman in Korea, both in your current relationship and also in the dates you've been on?
I'll say that Korea is definitely a more like conservative place than the US, and while my boyfriend in Korean standards is like pretty progressive, there are certain things that he just finds like very, very difficult to understand, and like I'll try to explain it.
You see, guys, guys. Let me see some fat super chats because Kaizo is the king of IQ and foresight. This woman, right? Usually I would use a B word, but I'm growing, I'm learning, right? To be nice to my black sisters. This woman was out here talking about, oh, she doesn't like how they think that she is some black woman from a black culture in America and that she's loose and she's willing to do stuff. Right now, she's literally complaining that Korean men are too conservative. So which is it, sis? Right? Do you want a conservative Korean man to treat you in a conservative way where he loves, cherishes you, and waits until, I don't know, marriage or something similar before he beds you frequently in different positions? Or do you want him to be less conservative? It's kind of interesting how, this is how you know people, niggas, man. You can't be out here listening to what people say. People lie, right? You don't go around asking a hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide, right? Hey, do you niggas like each other? No, you don't ask them. You put them together and then you make them react. When they react, then the truth comes out. That's the reality, right? Rub dust on your vocal cords, bruh. Oh, Flexed Up. Yeah, okay. Flexed Up is trying to say that for me to sound like him, I gotta stop sounding like a bitch. I gotta stop sounding like a woman. I gotta rub some dust, make my voice hoarse, then I'll sound like a real man, right? I'll sound like a real Fulani man. Okay, shout out to you, bro.
He's like, I don't know.
Can you share like any memory challenges you've had like in the dating scene out here in Korea as a black woman?
Brace yourself, because this is going to be one of the craziest things you've ever heard. Oh my God. I was dating this guy 2 years ago. He was really nice. He was like really into sports and like cars and shit, I don't know, whatever. And one of the things he was into most was like solo travel. And he'd like showed me all these photos of like solo trips he'd taken to. And a few months into us dating, he had told me he was going to England. Like, it was his first time leaving the country. Again, it was a solo trip. He was like really, really excited. He left. He was texting me like, oh, like, I miss you. I wish you were here. And a few days after he left, I was scrolling on TikTok, as you do. And those like recommendation pages where it's like cafes in Seoul that are good. I had seen a TikTok.
Because guys, before we play the rest of the video, have explaining all this crazy way of how this nigga cheated on her or left her, what do you think he did wrong? Type it in the chat. Type me your perspective on what do you think that this Korean brother did to this sister after dating for a couple months and all that good stuff. What do you? Oh yeah, guys, if you want to buy a wrench, if you ain't got no wrench, you can buy it. It's just simply $5, right? Super chat. You get it back over there, right? I'm a capitalist. I believe that Black and African men who work so hard should be at least able to pay their rent and pay for their fetishes in tricking for Somali women, right? Definitely got to be a case, right? It shouldn't be something that is difficult. So yeah, if you want it back, definitely send a fat super chat. And also, yeah, do go acknowledge we do have people that joined. We have JD that joined the membership. Shout out to you. Also, ADOS, Invented Country Rock, Hip Hop Gospel. Thank you very much for also becoming a member of the channel. I do appreciate that. etc. Those are the recent members that have joined, and also the people like Uncle Dwale for rejoining, Caesar for not canceling, all the good people, right, over there. I do appreciate them, etc. Yeah, so type it down. Okay, so Caesar says he was probably still in Korea, lied that he left and was King piping out Ming. Okay, okay. Oh, okay, Ming. I think Ming is Chinese, but anyways, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. FBA Nigel says Kaiser speak English way better than he can spell it. Oh, did I? Let's see. Did I spell something weird on the on? Let's see. Dating life as a black woman in Korea, is it worth leaving behind our black kings? Swell Nation. I think today my title is actually spelled correctly, FBA Nigel. Yeah, so what do you rest of you niggas think he did wrong?
Recommending a spa, and I was like, oh, I wonder if she has any other stuff on her page. So I go on and I'm scrolling and I see a little dance video. I'm like, that tattoo looks awfully familiar. So I click on it and it's the guy that I was with, but the video was like a few months old, so I was like, whatever. So I go up to the top and the first video, it's like a filter. It's like, oh, what letter does your soulmate's name begin with? And it was his full government name posted 2 hours before. So I was like, obviously shocked. I like sat straight up. I was like, what? So I go through her account. The solo trips, yeah, her birthday, Valentine's Day. And no, because this is...
Uh-oh. The black woman was the bad wench. The black woman wasn't the chosen woman. She was not the chosen one. Like I keep saying this, right? Black man, black woman, you only have each other in this world. The moment you start swirling off, you start becoming a fetish. Now, if you're a black man and you don't mind being a fetish because you're getting pumtang or whatever it is that you pumtang, we ain't nothing to fuck with. In this case, you are, right? But if you are here trying to get pumtang, fine, right? But understand that nobody wants you for the marriage role because of their cultures, right? Go find yourself a nice, attractive black woman. And if you're a black woman, go find yourself a black man. A black man that's got a job, got a little bit of money, and some sensibilities that he's going to protect, care, and provide for you. That's it. Stop out here simping for people, right? This woman probably likes Korean culture. She probably likes the movies. She probably likes the K-pop. Who knows what else she likes, right? But even her current boyfriend most likely will leave her when it comes to marriage. Yeah, so you are right, Caesar. Uncle Duale says, I wonder how this little Korean can satisfy a black queen in bed. Exactly, Duale.
The kicker. And they were in England together. The whole time this man was texting me like, I wish you were with me. He was with his fucking girlfriend. She was a foreigner. Because when we first got together, I'd actually asked him, I was like, are you just like gonna try?
She wasn't a foreigner. She was white. You know, this is another coping strategy that black people use, right? They use universal languages such as every time he was texting me, he was in bed with his girlfriend. She was a foreigner. No, she wasn't a foreigner. She was white, right? Here's a hierarchy, right? It is Korean, white, and then it's you. You're just a bed wench to satisfy his crazier fantasies. He don't want you.
Try to be weird because you think I'm easy because I'm a foreigner. And he was like, no, I've never been with a foreigner before. Like, whatever. I was like, okay, liar.
Where are you from?
I'm from Ethiopia.
How long have you been in Korea?
Like since 2017, so it's like 7 years almost.
Have you dated Korean men, or like have you gone out on dates out here in Korea?
Of course, yes, I did.
And how was like your experience so far?
I would say personally for my type, they're not my type, to be honest. Like the person
Woo! Don DeMarco, right? That's the stuff that they use in some channels out there in the manosphere, right? That's what we're gonna hear. All right, that's a beautiful black queen from Ethiopia, the nice, beautiful jet hair, right? She's out here saying, nah, that's not my type, right? That's a real African queen out here who's gonna go back to her people. She's gonna find herself some nice Habesha man, whatever tribe she's from, or even just a black man, right? Any other kind of black man. So shout out to you, sis. Appreciate the love, right? For us kings. Wisdom A says, Love that lady right there, that Ethiopian lady, straight beauty, exactly wisdom, right? That's what we want to see more of. Not the other lady out there can be like, oh, she's really trying hard for a Korean man. No, this is a beautiful black sister. Shout out to her.
Not the physically, yeah. But personally wise, as I'm kind of too independent. So whenever they want like, oh, how are you doing? Pam mogoso, like something like that. Whenever they text me, I'm like, why? I don't answer fast and everything. So that makes them mad. And that's why I don't get along with them a lot.
What would you say are some misconceptions Korean men have of you as a black woman?
Okay, there's a lot of.
Shout out to Zongo Native. He says, Kaizo, come on, man. She was trying to be politically correct, but we got the message unless she was being delusional. Now, she was being delusional because she still is dating another man. I assume it's Korean, but we don't know. She hasn't given that aspect yet. We'll see.
Misconceptions or misperceptions they have. Mostly like they think I'm a singer or that I rap. Usually like when I wear like a street style and then go to club, they think like I'm a rapper. Like I don't know why. So, and whenever I dance, they think I'm a good dancer too. But I'm a shit dancer. Like from all the African people, I'm the shittest one. So like, okay, that's a good perception though. I like it. So far I like it.
Would you say, dating in Korea, if you are to speak the language, you'd find dating like a lot easier compared to like when you don't speak the language?
Absolutely. Like if you speak their language, it gets so much easier. The relationship works so better. To be honest, there's a lot of Korean men that speak good English, like their native language, good English. And it's good if they found one and that speak good English with you, it's perfect too. But most of the Korean men, they don't speak good English, to be honest. So if you speak their language, they get it, they get excited, and it will be like the relationship gets so intimate. From my experience, I speak their Korean, fully Korean with them. Every day that I went, I was like fully Korean. And sometimes when they want to practice their English, sometimes we just, exchange.
But yeah, guys, I would like to hear a diverse range of opinions on the topic, swirling this recent obsession with black women from America, from Somalia, Ethiopia, and Nigeria, specific countries that want to go find Korean men, also South Africa as well. So, what do you think of that? What do you think of swirling? But yeah, the lines are open, right? You can join the discussion by clicking the link, right? I want to hear different perspectives, right? And what do you think about it, right? Are you going to do it? Should you do it? And what are the consequences?
The co-English, like with Korean and then English, mix it.
한국 남자들하고 외국 남자들이랑 차이점이 무엇이라고 생각하시나요?
차이점 많이 있을 거예요. 차이점은 일단 한국 남자들은 그 연락을 많이 해요. 연락 기다리고 그다음에 많이 하는 편이에요. 그래서 전화하거나 아니면 문자 이런 거는 자주 하는 편이라서 그것을 편하고 아니면 좋아하시는 분이시면은 그거 한국 남자랑 잘 사귀실 거예요. 근데 외국 남자들은 약간 독립적인 거라서 나중에 연락하게 그다음에 끝 이따가 연락하거나 이런 거.
Interesting. So she's saying that Korean men are sissy boys. They're so used to getting things done by their moms that when they date a woman and she doesn't respond in a what they feel is a timely manner, they get angry, they get frustrated because they think, well, she don't want them. So that's kind of interesting perspective that she's bringing up. Are you dating a sissy boy? Is the man that you're dating something like that?
한국 남자들은 계속 연락할 거예요. 그리고 약간 나 친구들랑 오늘 술 마실 거예요. 이렇게 연락하면은 일단 안 가지 말라고 해요. 왜 술 마셔 이런 거 가지 마셔 이런 거 하는데 외국인은 그런 거 상관없어요. 술 마실 거야? 오케이.
Do you think the country you're from plays an important part in the dating scene in Korea?
Definitely. So I'm from Africa. Whenever someone asks me, where are you from? And I'm like, I would say like, guess where I'm from. And they expect me to come from like France or America or something like that. They think it's cool to come from there. But if I say I'm from Africa, they will.
Man, I love this woman. I love this woman, right? Wisdom A, you were 100% right. Love that lady right there. She's not gonna go out here trying to pretend she's a Black American FBA. She's like, no, I'm rocking Africa, right? Because I am African. I respect that, right? This actually goes to show a lot about her psychology, her sense of being, and she's just rocking African, despite whether she's gonna lose points in the whatever it is. Yeah, interesting lady.
Get like, oh, you're okay. And then I don't know what they expect. They just change their perception again. So it will become a different story. If they like you physically, you just, okay, I will hang out with you, but then not, not for the long term. But then if I said, like if I was from America or like France, they'll be like, oh, I want to get to know her more. They will be like, especially they like America, I don't know why. So I'm from America, and they'll be like, okay, great. They will ask you to hang out a lot.
Can you share like any memorable experience you've had like in your dating scene out here in Korea, like as a Black woman?
I'm a model in Korea, and I work with a lot of Korean models. They were Korean model, and then we met in the shoot, and then we went on a date.
Hola, man. What's good? What's good? Shout out to you. Thank you very much for coming through. I don't know if you're ready to give your opening statement or you want to wait a little bit. Depends on you. I don't mind either. Okay, so I will assume that you're not ready just yet, so I'll continue and finish.
Continue.
Okay. Let me continue and finish the presentation.
And I thought we were hanging out, but I think it was a date for him. So he asked me, do you, like, are you open-minded? That's the exact question he had, actually. So I was like, what do you mean by that case? Like, I'm open-minded. Of course, I'm open-minded in many cases, but what's the open-minded for you? And then he was like, oh, I wanted to be a friend with benefits. I'm like, no, thank you. I don't like this kind of thing.
Where are you from?
I am from America.
I'm getting a lot of respect for this Ethiopian sister, right? Here's the thing, right? You can be a friends with benefit within your culture and your community, and sure, you'll feel like a cheap whore, but doing it to foreigners in a foreign country where nobody really is going to marry you or treat you with respect, I really, really like this sister, right? She sees her value. She knows who she is. She knows what she's worth, and she's not letting it go. And yeah, mad respect. I really like this sister that they showed from Ethiopia. The American ones, but the Ethiopian sister, mashallah.
Virginia.
And how long have you been in Korea?
I have been in Korea for about 7 years.
Have you gone on dates? Have you dated people in Korea?
Of course, I've had a lot of dates over the course of 7 years. Yeah, there's been a lot of dates. It's not for the weak. That's what I can say for sure. There's been a lot of downs, more downs than ups, but there are some good moments if you stick to it. Yeah.
As a Black woman, how has been your experience, like just dating out here in Korea?
It's been a difficult one, a difficult journey. As you know, this is Korea. Most of the people here are Korean, right? It's a homogenous country, and only recently, like within the past 5 years, have there been more foreigners here, and especially more Black people here in Korea. So for that reason, it's still very new to Korean people how to interact with Black people. And
I've never understood that. What do you mean interact with Black people? Black people are just people like everybody else. You should not be dating foreigners as your number one choice, right? If you fall in love with a foreigner, that's fine. If you love it, again, foreigner is different from falling in love with a Korean man who's actually, and you're also Korean, right? Let's say, let me give the context, right? If I go to the UK and fall in love with a UK woman, and I've been living there and I've become a UK person, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But when you're specifically only looking for a foreigner, it doesn't really make that much sense to me, right? That's the issue that I keep seeing here. Fall in love with whoever you fall in love with, but don't look for foreigners.
obviously, because this is Korea, we're not the main preference of most people. And
of course, but come on, sis, it's not just because of that, right? I'm sure a black man, if I was in Korea, man, they'll be like, yo, that's a big bad luo.
If we are a preference, it's usually a fetish, which it's very difficult to navigate that. You don't know who has a fetish and who doesn't, but sometimes it's a little easy.
There's nothing wrong with a fetish. I have a fetish for specific women, and I love that shit. Nothing wrong with it. The issue is, are you going to treat them with respect, or are you going to disrespect them? So even the way she's characterizing what a fetish is not really that correct. Nothing wrong with a fetish. I've said it before. A fetish is just a sexual preference. Do you treat that person with respect or not? But yeah, go ahead, Judah. What's your thoughts on the conversation so far?
Oh yes, Kaiser. I want to respect Koreans for actually dating their own and letting other foreigners to go an extra mile to put more effort into trying to date Koreans, or Koreans try to date them. Look, look. Africans are the only people that we allow them, that we actually date foreigners over their own people, and that is a big blow to the world. You see, Chinese people have come to realize that they are not as many as, I mean, you might say they are, I mean, in their country, but they are not as many worldwide. So they don't have a lot of representation. They cherish who they are. They cherish their own people, and I think it's a good thing that most foreigners or people that don't look like them are having a hard time in Korea. But in any other African country, take for instance, a Korean goes to Kenya, or a white, or not say white, or any foreigner goes to another African country that looks different. Oh man, come on. People will be rushing just to date this, person of different color and stuff like that. So, like what the lady said, the lady also, another statement that she makes. I'm gonna go on both sides. I'm gonna go to what she said. Koreans have not been used to dating other foreigners. Wow, I mean, that's to tell you how she's being protective of Koreans, not trying to make it saying that they don't like other races. But in Africa now, when it comes to Africa, Africa we're used to. But that's some kind of a gross exaggeration or hyperbole, trying to make something that it suits Africa, but it doesn't suit Korea, which is, I'm not gonna say buying by that, but this is the thing. We have taken advantage. We have taken dating to another level, trying to date people that do not resemble us. That shouldn't happen in Africa. We should start protecting our own, data, our own people. The same thing that is happening in Korea is happening in most Asian countries, not China, Korea, Malaysia, most of these places. So in such a way where only foreigners are now able to date other foreigners. This is a reason when I came to Utah, right? It's not the case in Utah where you say, foreigner. Okay, let me say this. Some black people don't come to Utah because they realize that in Utah they have difficulties dating, because majority of people that live in Utah are mostly Caucasians. So they're like, oh man, we have difficulties dating in Utah. I wouldn't go to Utah because the people that I find close to me are only Caucasians, and that's gonna be difficult. And it's true if you have that mindset that you want to date only a particular group of people. But if you are open to dating, like one of the ladies talk about, she's not open to date only, people of her race. She's open to date other people as well. So when you are open to dating, you might have a bigger plate. You might say, okay, I'm gonna date this person, I'm gonna date this group of people, I don't mind who they are and stuff like that. So they don't see that barrier of having saying so I think dating, I mean, people have the right to date other people, people that they feel like they want to date. But at the same time, us Africans have to start doing our dating based on who we prefer. We should have that scale of preference. If we are in Africa, black should be first, this should be second, and this should be third. like the way Koreans do. So I'm gonna let it someone go ahead and talk. But what these people are facing in South Korea, I'm not happy with it. But at the same time, I'm happy in such a way that Koreans cherish their own people, and that's a good thing.
Man, yeah, I can't really disagree with what you're saying, Jude. As always, these days your analysis is spot on. Um, yeah, I can't. It's interesting. I've been thinking about it for the last 2 minutes. What am I gonna say against? How am I gonna cook my Cameroon brother and turn him into a shrimp powder and crayfish and make some jollof? No, I couldn't cook you, bro. I will say I will say that like the problem is though, Jude, right? These black women who are going to these countries like Japan, Korea, it's because they're looking for a Korean man. And they don't understand that Korean men culturally they don't value you. They value their own women, right? They will have fun with you if that's what you're looking
Exactly.
for. That's fine, but they're not gonna marry you. They're not gonna take you back home because they know that's not what their parents want, and because they value their culture. So it is interesting in this situation. Like, go find yourself a white woman. A white woman is these days a white woman and black people. They're all the same people, right? And culture and everything. But Korean, this is a homogeneous. This is like you, Jude, going and finding yourself a Somali woman. It's a whole different culture in Somalia, not
Exactly.
in the West.
So
In Somalia, exactly.
yeah, not in the West, in Somalia. You are right because these are two different settings, right? So finding a Somalia woman in Somalia as a black man is like, man, that's crazy. You risk not even having a wife for a decade, right? So yeah. So I mean, why? Because they go in there to South Korea. Look, the major reason most black people, I mean, if you're a foreigner going to South Korea to find a husband or a wife, I mean, that's ridiculous. There's something going on. Why you have to go all the way to South Korea? I mean, maybe you are going there for a different reason, maybe employment. And then you can say, okay, and then they arrive there and there for some reason. Now they are now caught in the situation of looking for who to date. But for just travel, that having that mindset that I'm going to South Korea to, nah, that's gonna be difficult, especially most black people. Let me tell you about something, right? Most black people, especially black women, are not cherished around the world when it comes to dating. The way we take dating is not the way other countries take dating. When I came to United States, I kind of realized that the way black people, black Americans date is not the way we Africans date. It's just probably some kind of how now we are now following social media where we did one, two, three, out of a sudden you take the next one, out of a sudden I mean, that is what is happening in America. Most of the time in Africa, dating used to go up for close to 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. People date in Africa and probably get married. In most of these countries, it's not like that. And most of the time, have black women when they go to other places and they want to date, most countries already have that mindset. So maybe Koreans are still culturalistic. They still love that kind of culture where they date their women and end up getting married to these people. And maybe black people just don't have that kind of culture anymore. They just want to date this person 3 months, they date the other person, because I wouldn't think most blacks we want to get married to really Koreans and stuff like that. So people still have their culture in place, and they are protecting it from other races, and that's a good thing, man. I wouldn't say much about what the Koreans are doing. We are the only people that have lost it, and that is a big problem. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Now you're making good points. Kidola, did you finish your gari and egusi stew? Are you able to make a commentary on the situation?
No, I'm enjoying the way Judas explained it. So I'm just listening,
I
bro.
know, man. It's interesting when you can. I'll try to cook Judah, but he's making sense today, man. Not today, lately. Man, let me. Right, that's what I'm thinking. Caesar says, "Why would a black woman go?" Oh, I tell you why, Caesar. Right, and this is why I keep saying Africans are failing. Koreans have exported their culture and it's become worldwide. Yes, Africans have exported Afro beats, and the one from South Africa. What is it called? Something House. No, no, no. What's the name of the South African one? The one where they start.
I'm a
God.
piano.
Yeah, I'm a piano, right? So I'm a piano and Afrobeats have been exported around the world, but we don't export it in a way that people want to come in just to, be part of our culture. With this whole situation here that we're seeing in Korea, there's K-pop, right? Korean pop music, which is really just Black American music with a little bit of
Yeah.
Koreans dressed up in feminine clothing. Then there's also Korean movies, right? Nollywood is not good enough. That's why we're failing right now. The quality in Nollywood is not good enough. But the Korean movies, the Korean soap dramas with the pretty boy falling in love with a village girl, that shit is fire right now for black women. I mean black women from every country. I'm talking about Kenya, Uganda, Somalia, the Ethiopian girl there, black Americans, these BITCH, whatever it is, they love that shit. So they want to be with a Korean man because they've seen the fantasies of what Korean man can do for them in the movies. So that's why I'm
Wow.
answering your question. Caesar. Yeah, they want to be
Yeah,
with a
but
Korean man.
yeah, another thing too, it comes with integration, right? Take for instance a black woman in Korea who is not integrated in their language, culture, might not have that Korean guy, because I've seen most of that stuff where, oh, it's fun, fantasy for a Chinese person to find a black woman that speaks Chinese. So they kind of like, oh wow, she's into our culture already. So, and then maybe their next step is to change or have a different mindset. But this is the thing, right? See, us in the West, we believe that these people, when it comes to real life, these people cannot even, in America, these people, it's hard for a black person to even date them, right? But now, when blacks go over there because of being a minority in a group, now you are forced to marry, get involved with Korea, despite the fact that the pleasure that you might get from it might not be the same way you will have getting from your own people, because it's still, but because where you find yourself is only them, then now you are now forced to get involved in it. Because when I came to Utah, right, I was walking down the street, I saw black girls, I was like, oh shit, maybe it's easy to get these black girls, but out of a sudden, most of them were into, Caucasians. You find that you go to the club, you see that
Mhm.
they are coming in with, their white boyfriends, their Caucasian. I'm like, oh wow, and then you kind of check, you're like, oh wow, what really happened? But because the people that they have come in and mingle with, the people that they seen there, it's the same thing. You might be shocked that you go to South Korea right now and the black ladies that you see, you think, oh, you might get one of these, but no, man, they are now, become some kind of South Koreans, and now they are now falling into the kind of culture that you yourself have become shocked, and they are now choosing Koreans over you, and you're like, wow. So it's, these are things that it change. I mean, yeah, yeah. But in Africa, look, a white woman in Africa, if K is not taking, a white person that also travels to Africa might get married to this white person. But because I think white people are the only people that can actually, you know, beat that. We Africans have, or blacks around the world, just kind of mingle into people's culture and just take advantage and get full swing. Other races do not do that. I don't think so. Even if they do, it's not as the way we blacks do it. So yeah, Kaiser.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
go ahead.
Mhm. No, no, 100%, 100%. Let me see what the chat is saying. Chuku Igwe says, it's an uphill battle for black women to go to Korea and get wifed up. Pump and dump is more likely. 100%. 100%. Spellcaster says, yeah, but African men are venturing to Europe, having kids with local women. See, for a man, it is easier for several different reasons, right? A man is the one who seeks out the woman, meaning, right? A man will either succeed or not, but a woman is waiting for the man to make the moves. So if a woman is out there waiting for a Korean man to make the move when she's being cheated on by a Korean man with a better, that's already a psychologically distraught situation. But yeah, I see your point there. I see your point there. FBA Nigel says Nigerian men in America pay a lot of Akata girl rent. Okay, so apparently the Nigerian men are out here dating Black American women and paying their rent. Okay, Spellcaster says, Kaizo, at the end though, let the black woman at the end though, let the black women have kids with Korean men. Their kids will turn out more black at the end, and it adds to the black population. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. Because they will not be accepted in Korean culture, but they will be accepted in black culture. That's a good point, Selcaster. Masha Kaizoria, right? Even my girlfriend, right? I stopped her from saying Masha Allah. She says Masha Kaizoria because she knows who's the real deal out there. Zongo Native says, Jude, sorry, Flextop says, Jude, really at the Rocky Mountain Strip Club with a dashiki button up. Okay. Share your good Somali. Okay, no. Somali blood is not necessarily good. It's very not incest. What's the other one? Inbred. Chuku says, if an Igbo girl has a Korean man's baby, then that baby is not even a part of our culture. Oh, by the way, interesting. Chuku, you're the first black person I've seen who can actually use the word apart correctly. Usually they put no spaces between a and part, and actually it becomes the opposite of what they think it means. Well done. I respect you a little bit more. You actually know how to use the English language. That's great. Over there. But yeah, we got a new panelist. What's good, Caesar, man?
Wait, you didn't even read the best part of the comment though.
Okay, let me read the whole thing. If an Igbo girl has a Korean man's baby, then the baby is not even part of our ethnicity. She's better. Let me see if I can remove this thing so I can read the whole thing. Yeah. She better take that baby back to Jackie Chan and teach him how to use chopsticks. I'm done. Yeah, but yeah, the rest of you does it out there listening. Send Kaiser a big fat Christmas or whatever it is. I don't celebrate it, but I will be willing to manipulate you niggas so that I can pay for my fetishes. But yeah, go ahead, Caesar, man. What do you think of this conversation so far? Where do you want to come in? Literally, pun intended.
Sadly, I missed some of it because I was really enjoying hearing this lady talk. But hearing this drama. But like, look, bro, all these crazy women that travel to Korea to go find a Korean man, some of the crazy swirlers we have. Bro, for every woman that leaves, we'll replace them with another. Every black woman that goes to Korea, we'll replace them with a Korean chick. We don't need these chicks. They're mentally ill. Who knows what her body count is in Korea, bro? Like, who knows how many men she's
bro, they get run down like trains.
Do you even think that she's useful? Like, what black man would even want her at this point? I mean, she looks good, but that body count at this point, I'm just wondering, like, damn.
Oh man, the body count is only part of the story. The other part is psychological distraught. You know, being rejected that many times is gonna leave some negative shit in your spirit, man.
You know, I mean, we should be doing well so our daughters don't become like that. But in the end, it's like, look, we can't do anything about these crazy ones. Let her stay in Korea and keep getting rejected. One day she'll come to her senses. I mean, she could have went to South Africa. She could have went to Ghana and actually at least be treated nicely by the men. But she went to Korea where the men can't even show her off because she's black. It's not even that dark too.
Was that the main reason why she traveled to South Korea?
Well, let's look into that. Why is the main reason why? She's a passport sis, right? Isn't she a passport sis?
Kaizo, is that why she traveled? Maybe she went. Is that why she traveled to South Korea? Oh, I don't think Kaizo. But because I mean, if she was traveling, maybe she went. Huh?
She couldn't find a nice African dude in South Korea.
Wow. That's what I'm telling you. Do you know how many African dudes are in South Korea? That should be the question you should be asking. You should be asking another what city is she in? Those are. It's like saying. Go ahead, man. It's like saying, you live in Utah or you live in Alaska. Find an African dude in Alaska. Come on, man. How many African dudes live in Alaska that I really want to? Come on. That's why most black people will end up in Alaska getting married to white people. You know that.
The next question is this: why are we sending our daughters to go to war for us in foreign countries? What the hell is she doing in Korea?
I should be asking you, why the hell are you doing in America? Is the same question.
I'm a man. I'm hustling. She's a woman. What's she doing in Korea?
Oh, come on. I
You know I'm
mean,
saying the
people
truth
hustle. Now
because
you
if
are
this
you
was
are living a traditional mindset too. I mean, you can
Judah,
only men. So you telling me only men should hustle?
yes, if this was an Islamic society, do Islamic men send their daughters out to foreign countries to go fend for
Oh no,
themselves?
man. Let's be constructive.
That's the
Yeah,
truth, though, and we wonder
everybody.
why we have different outcomes.
If she
I
doesn't
don't,
hustle, are you gonna pay her bills?
bro. She could stay at home and keep getting pregnant for us. That's all she needs to do. She don't need
Oh
to go
no,
to
come
Korea
on.
and hustle. What is she
Oh
doing in
come on,
Korea?
man.
She probably doing some nonsense. What is she doing in Korea, bro? I want to
What you mean?
actually
What
know
she do?
what is she doing in Korea.
There are a lot of things. I have friends that are in Korea as we speak. Most of them are teachers. Most of them they do a lot of teaching over there. I even know one of my South African guy comes on this panel all the time. He's a teacher in Korea. And I also know females that are over there as well. Most of the
So we're
time now,
sending our
the following.
daughters. So we're sending. Zongo said
When
we
you say
never send
when you
our.
say we as who are you? Yeah, you talking about black or Africans or come on, man?
Well,
You are an individual. You
black
saying
slash
we?
African. I don't. What could she possibly doing in Korea that's good for the black? Like that, we really need her to be in Korea. She's teaching, but now she's trying all this Korean lollipops, or what word do we want to use? I mean, I don't even get it. There, she made the choice to go there to do nonsense. We're not sending her. She should stay her ass back in Africa and give us 10 kids. That's actually more useful than whatever the hell she's doing in Korea.
I
Let's
don't
be
I
honest.
don't have I don't have a problem her in Korea if that was her major aim to go and date in Korea. Because if you have a major aim that you are going to date in Korea and then Korea is not a place to date as a foreigner or a black person over there. But that's the thing because they cherish their own people. They
Yep.
patronize their own people. They patronize their own folks, more than foreigners. Now, if she went there because of employment, and then that is a different that is everybody has the right. I mean, if they have employment somewhere, they have the right to go and work. So I wouldn't say why is she doing over there now. She got rejected, yes, because the people cherish their own people. This is not in Utah. Do you know how many times I got rejected? So are you gonna tell me why what am I doing in Utah because I got rejected? No. I mean, I'm here, I'm working, I got employment, I got a good job, so I'm working. So, and I'm still dating a lot of different people as well. So I mean, you cannot say, "Oh, why is she doing in Korea?" And at
Judah,
the end of the day, she's gonna get something profitable from what despite the
Judah,
rejection.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Maybe I'm more conservative, but I don't think as a civilization we don't need our women to go to Korea to go hustle. I'm sorry. If let me just speak on behalf of my own civil life, we don't need that. I don't need any woman from my community going to Korea to go hustle and being the only black person and going to go find a Korean man, having child with a Korean man. We don't need that from you. Stay at home, please. Let the boys go. Stay
When
at
you
home.
say home, where is home?
Either whether
Judah,
it's either A, you go to a country where there's other black people like America, or you stay in Nigeria. Sorry,
No,
we
I
don't
want
need you
to
to
ask
go
you.
to
You
Korea
say
to
stay
hustle.
at home. Home. Okay. Where
Whether
is
that's
home?
Nigeria or go to a country where there's other black people, we don't need you in Korea hustling. I'm sorry, we don't need that. And having children with Korean men, trying out Korean, you know, lollipops, and I mean, I don't
Look,
think that's useful. What
look,
salary is
man.
she collecting? What money is she making?
And I know says I know sometimes you want to skill or make some. I mean I don't blame her for going there for employment, but I blame her for say if that was what was behind her mind to go there to date. That is. I mean, you wouldn't find love in South Korea, but
No,
you wouldn't force people not to go where there's employment. So you wouldn't say don't go there, don't go there. You live in America, you live in a state where it's gunshot all the time. So if people get killed, so will you say why what are they doing in United States because it's gunshot all the time, or they should stay at home? Your families
but
did not stay at home. That's why they got you in United States.
as
So
Judah,
people.
Ola, you can step
So
in. Ola, step in.
Judah, Judah. Do you see the picture I have there? The gorilla. You see how big that gorilla is on my
right.
You see how can the gorilla be dating a panda? You understand? You know,
What is your point, Kidola?
it's that ugly gorilla there with gold on his neck.
So does that tell me that because you are dating a white, so I mean, as a strong black man from
No,
Nigeria dating a,
no,
is that a
let me tell you
symbolism?
something. No, let me tell you something. How can look? The Asia people, the Chinese, they all the same. The Korean, they all the same. Vietnam, they all the same shape and everything.
Japanese with the
The,
same
the
mindset.
closer, the closer people to Africans are the white people. Their body shape and the way they look like.
Oh,
How can you? How, how
is
can you?
that why you did a white
How,
girlfriend?
how can you leave people that almost resemble you, type of body shape, height, and everything? That you go and be dating you know the Chinese
Oh,
when they happen to
they are too short. They call them midget or their height. This guy.
you know, you know, you know, if sometimes you don't know if they're happy, sometimes you don't know if they're sad. They always smile on the ground. You start be like, are you happy? Can you smile? Are you happy? Are you sad? No, they can just kill you like that. Also, you start. Look, truth of the matter is, the Asian people, the Chinese people, they don't really like. I think they will be curious who are we, because we are the last race for them to really have contact with. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
The first time I think the first time Asian man have let me say Japanese man or this Korean people have seen black people really is during the Second World War. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
When they were helping the British to the Africans were helping the British to fight the Japanese. I think that's what the
And,
Japanese see
and,
us
and,
as.
and when last the Africans see the Koreans? Because if these Koreans they go to Africa, Africans will date them.
Oh yeah, it's for the bag, the money. You see, you know, the money. It's just for the money. You don't really they like them. How can you like Baby Panga? Have you ever seen their food with Baby Panga?
Well, I mean, I've dated a Korean girl before. Very beautiful ladies, some of them.
Have you ever eaten their food? Their food name is Baby
No, how is their
Panga.
food, Kidola?
Uh,
How is their food?
Yaki Toki.
Actually, some of their food's not that bad. Not gonna lie, their fried chicken is actually very nice.
If you
Is it water soup, some kind of noodles?
Yeah, if you stay in the restaurant for too long, the smell of their food will follow you along outside. When you get to it,
But
you'll be like,
Kidola,
"God."
Chinese restaurants are cherished in America, though, or are Chinese restaurants different from Koreans or Japanese?
You know, you know what they cherish. Americans like the Chinese restaurants because they have a lot of pork meat, all this kind of chop chickens. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Into their
oh.
type of food and everything. So see, because Chinese food, the food they serve to black people is not really the type of food they really eat it themselves.
Yeah,
You
you
understand?
might be right. Yeah, that's
You know,
true. Yeah.
if you eat Chinese food, sometimes even with their rice, sometimes they mix sugar into it. You understand? That will that would like to bring you back again, like whoa man, I'm going to eat that Chinese food again. So they mix different things that make and add it to their food, just like what McDonald's the other ones are doing also Burger King. If you eat their
So
double
the
whopper
Korean
and
food
everything.
are different. Is just different. It cannot satisfy a black man.
No, you will even be going there the next day.
That no,
Because
they have good food though. They have Korean fried chicken. You have to try it. It's really good. They took it from
But
Black
Kidola
American.
wouldn't eat from Korean. Kidola wouldn't eat Korean food.
no,
He
nothing,
prefer
no,
white.
nothing good.
No, you have to
Nothing
try it.
good their
They
food at
took it
all,
from
bro.
Black Americans and they improved it. Their fried chicken's even better. Like you have to try it. Literally, it's very
They
good.
give you food that they will never eat themselves. That's what they
No,
do.
they
They,
eat it. Korean fried chicken. You have to. Well, you're right. It's not as popular in Korea as it is here, I guess. But you have to try it.
get that.
I mean,
Any Asian food,
who we allow KFC in America, Kentucky Fried, black, owned by, done by black women, or Popeyes to go and
yeah,
try
okay,
Korean
okay,
fried chicken.
okay. Judah, you can see all this KFC, McDonald's. You can see why people eating it themselves, right?
Right.
I swear to God, if you this Chinese or Korean food, because they have to serve you what they think will taste in your mouth. You understand me?
This
So this
guy.
Korean people, they study things. They try to study black people taste. You understand?
Yup.
Okay, this black people, what do they like? They like waffles. They like this thing. So what do we have to do? That let's just mix some sugar into this rice and marinate it up. Then let's see if they will like it. They might even serve you for free to see how you will like it. You understand? If you like it, so you're okay. These are what the taste of black people. They will serve, but if you really want to check how they really eat their food, they don't eat that food they serve you. It is not in their table. They just that food they really serve you. That is commercial. That is capitalist food. Come and
That's
pay. Come
true.
and buy.
To
That's
answer the
the food.
question, so I don't. First of all, my answer is this: one, in Islam, men can marry out, but women can't. But that's okay because it's a religion, right? But you have some. But anyway, I don't care if people date out. I don't think they should, but I'm not going to stop them. But they obviously shouldn't. That's my answer, a rude boy.
Oh man. So Kidola, what you are saying is it's better to date a white person than to date Korea because it's harder to integrate into Korean society than into a white society as a black man.
You will not even like that. You will not even like their you will not like their shape, their height.
No, okay. Oh,
They're
Kidola, let me
midgets.
give you a rebuttal. As someone who's dated Korean girl from Korea, Korean girls are very feminine, very submissive. You would
Oh,
Yeah,
enjoy
but
it.
season,
wow. So
man. Like
Kidola,
when
you are
you
saying
start,
something different now.
you want to see a nice big ass, you touch it, and you see the curves.
Wait,
If
do
you
they
want
actually
something
have
I'm
big
higher,
not
ass? The
saying they're
Koreans,
better than black
the
women. I'm
Koreans
just
have.
saying they have their
I've
own
never seen a
pros.
Korean with big ass, man. They are just flat to me. I mean, from up to down, it's just the same shape, flat. You know.
That's true, but
Judah,
they're
you
so
don't know the difference
feminine,
between a man and a
submissive.
woman in Korea people. They're all the same. The
I've
man and the
never
woman
even
are the
seen them.
same.
I've never even seen them with big breasts. I've always, I cherish big breasts a lot, but I've never really seen them with big breasts. It's just so small. Everything
Judah,
is, you know.
Judah, you know how white man created the flat Earth theory, right? Koreans created the flat theory.
Also, it depends on the kind of food you feed a woman. See, I don't know if you guys are hip to that, but depending on
Yeah,
the
you
food
might
you
be
feed a woman,
right.
her body can change, bro.
Bro,
Right.
it will never change. Their shape is total. They're built different. You understand?
You
They
don't
they
like
they
Koreans. You got to try it
they're
first.
built different. They can't change. Don't expect anything to change for a Chinese. I call them Chinese because they're all Chinese and they're from the Chinese family. You understand? So I don't see why a black person will go to Korea is looking for Korea. How is that really attractive to you? Because it's a total different people, the way they look, their body shapes is different.
Yeah, it's
At least
different.
Europe is not too far from Africa. We have
That's true.
similar type of
Yep,
body
we are very
shape
similar to
and everything.
Europeans. Yep, I
You know,
agree. Even genetically, Ola, this is why the Native Americans died when they were introduced to European diseases. Africans didn't die because we already were in close proximity with these people.
yeah, the air, the breeze, that they're not too
Mhm.
far also from similar type of body shape and everywhere.
Yep.
Their skin is white, but they're not far
Hmm.
from African type of body
I
shape. You
agree.
understand me?
I
So that's
agree.
just
We
the
look more
truth.
like them than the Koreans or the
Yeah,
Japanese or the
the Koreans,
Chinese.
you don't understand. Are you holding a plank or are you holding the real flesh? You don't know what are you really holding.
Hmm.
Then they can feed you with that food you say you like. That's why Snoop
Yeah.
Dogg like the food because they study what they give to. Look, I don't understand really. Judah was saying that Africa dating is different from Black America. It's far, far different. You understand me?
Mhm.
If you date an African woman, it might lead to marriage because that process is going towards that area. But if you date somebody like Black Americans, just understand because Black Americans adopt their master way of who colonized them. Their history is also very different also. So you don't expect anything I'm just saying it. If you're an African, I think, look, if you date a girl from a single parent's home, you have to know that relationship is not going to last. Because that girl
Uh
is going to be
oh.
like,
Uh
God,
oh.
that girl is going to be like a mother.
They're gonna be
You
angry
understand
at
me?
you for saying that.
No, no, look. That's why these black American men also who are like their mother raised them up. They can also keep relationship also. You understand? Sometimes, you have to be very careful uh, who you date. If you think that date will lead to marriage, you have to check the girl background. If mother is single parents and a single mother, that single mother, because she doesn't have a boyfriend or husband, she'll be asking the girl, is he touching you well? Is he doing this to you? You know what I mean? Already she want to break you up already with this guy.
Kidolo, what
Kidola.
you're spreading right now is too advanced for a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie, it's way too advanced for a lot of
But
people.
but that is another reason why most black American or black people in America do not even check their family's background in order to date. Like it's not us Africans where we say, "Oh, where is this?" To try to find out if you are related to her or not, or this. No, black Americans is just you and me. If you are from a single, or you don't, no, it's just, and that's why at the long run they start having difficulties because you do not find out if parents are job, or maybe you are even related to them. You do not find out
Yep.
of a sudden marriage did not work within, or your dating did not work within 3 months, and that's how the lifestyle have become, because they end up even dating their relatives without actually that have been in another state, but because they did not find out, this, I kind of start seeing that Africans have now start dating women without actually knowing, oh, where you this and that, and that we that kind of culture, we are now picking those cultures, which is a bigger problem, that is going to happen in the long run.
Oh,
I wish
yes,
that
oh yes.
cannot,
Yeah, Judah, you nailed the head. You really nailed it, because when you were talking about the difference of dating, that's why I always tell Africans, it's okay, they're blacks, you're blacks, but you have to understand, you that's coming from Africa, even when your father's a polygamous, but your father is there as the head of the family. You see the
yeah.
way he runs things. You know what I mean? You see the way he's running things with his 2 wives or 3 or whatever he's having there. So you grew up already, even in the household whereby the man is there. You understand me? But the women, uh, you can see the way they argue, the way they do things. But in a single parent's home, whereby the woman is the woman and the child that grew up around that kind of system, you have to understand, especially the girls inside. These girls can be like their mother also. Their
Yep.
relationship not going to last. They will think they're the soldiers. Even if the mother still having contact, or they still like having contact together, that woman will do everything to break that relationship up. It will be asking, look, have you ever seen whereby a woman will be asking his daughter, oh, is he going out alone? Is he picking you along?
Mm.
Now he's not bringing her type of lifestyle into that daughter's lifestyle. You understand me? And if that daughter is not, it's a social something. It's a kind of like social development. You understand me?
Hmm.
So it transfer, in time also. So maybe they have a problem. That girl doesn't have the mechanism to settle things between herself and her man or her boyfriend. So she will just immediately go towards her mother's self, doing things. You understand? And you have to understand, long time will be a problem. Okay, might be short time, you're just there to have some fun and kick it. You can just do your thing. It's okay. After 6 months, okay, goodbye. Contract is finished. You
Wait,
understand
Kidola,
me?
can I be honest with you? I was thinking about this today. I feel bad for saying this because I'm a pro-black, but I'm gonna admit it. I feel like that's why I had an easier time dating Indian, Vietnamese, all these other groups than dating Black Americans. Even though I love my Black American queens, culturally, like from that whole the background, the family background thing, it's the same. I hate to admit that, but culturally it's kind of the same because sometimes when you're dating these chicks that are so like their mom was a single independent woman who didn't need no man, it's like that's what she's getting advice from. Versus the Indian chick, she's getting advice from her mom who had a similar background than my parents too. But you date this Black American chick and her mom was a single independent mama and her mom was single independent, and she telling you I don't need a man. My mama didn't need a man and she raised me, so why do I need a man? And you're like,
and
damn,
and
this is
that
who I'm gonna
and that
marry? Damn.
Exactly. That's one of the main reasons why most Black Americans will tell you that when Africans come here, I mean, you live in the state anyway, they say they don't date Black Americans, or they instead date white, because most white people are actually living with their both parents. So they actually have that, you know, that zeal of marriage. You see, when I walk in the park here in Utah, when I go to the park most of the time, I see white ladies in the park and their kids, their families. You see them, husband and wife. You see them doing, doing things together. They actually walk in the park, take time off, But it's hard to actually. And I've not only lived in Utah, I've lived in other states as well. And I've, most of the time you see this, but when it comes to us, like all the blacks in America, there's that kind of division. You don't see that, so look, we have taken certain things to an extreme, and you are right. That's why a black person hasn't gone to that stage yet, but because of social media we are getting, I've started seeing those things happening in our community, and if care is not taken in African countries as well, I've started seeing the rate of divorce, you know the rate of divorce is really increasing. People are actually going to court to divorce their wives. This and that is happening. People are getting married to, like, they're marrying today, the next day they divorce, marrying. So it's like, we are adopting a fast culture that in years to come, African countries will be chaotic, and because the laws are not working, it's gonna be so chaotic. And I wish that does not happen in my lifetime, man. Because the way I see things, we are copying a lot, which
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
America
you're
see
right.
the effects.
That's what the Korean man. What's going on? That's what the Korean man. That's what the Korean man, when they ask where you from, because they have different image like Americans, right? Because they see the American life history in TV, Jerry Springer. Some of this. Look, I tell you, my mom came to United States, right? Then my in-law, I don't know what the guy want to tell my mother to see um American type of lifestyle. My in-law put the channel of Jerry Springer and other things, whereby you see a lot of these black women start saying, "I don't know the baby, I don't know my baby's daddy. I don't know my baby daddy." They start to see, they start fighting and everything. My mom was shocked. My mom said, "Well, how can you have children? You don't know the daddy. You just have 5 children, but you don't know their daddy." You understand? So Jerry Springer and some other this talk show whereby you say, "Who is the daddy? Who is the daddy?" My mother would just see only black American girls.
Only black, exact. Right.
Do you know how crazy it is to not know who the dad is? Because when you, Judah, there's an echo. Because when you, like, it wasn't until I got older, like, I'm embarrassed to even say this. It's like the window that a woman can get pregnant is so small, just a couple days. So for you to bring 5 men and you don't know who the father is, like, damn, what is going on? I mean, it has to be television, because that's just crazy. Like, it's like a couple days. What do you mean you don't know who the father is?
Yep, that wasn't even just television. Those were realities. Where see, I even watched one of that show where this guy, oh sorry, this guy even bought his own. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but this guy bought his own brother. I think that was his cousin. They were living together, and both of them were dating the same girl in their own home. You know, I mean, this is chaotic. I'm like, what is really going on in black community? I mean, you are dating, your brother is dating the same girl. You are also dating the same girl, and out of a sudden, the girl did not even know who impregnated her. Yeah, come on. I mean, in one of these shows, and that was crazy. You don't know which brother impregnated you. You choose the other one, and out of a sudden, it was his own little brother. Oh, come on. That was, I was like, wow. And they did not even take it as a problem. I mean, in Africa, you might even get cursed and chased out of the community for something like that. But oh man, I mean, people have become used to it. It has become a culture. It's crazy, man. Really crazy.
Well, I don't want to rag on them too much, because look, Black America is under attack. That's a fact. Even Nigerians, when we come over here, I mean, I saw a video of some lady calling the cops on her mom. It's just like, that's just so, like, against our culture. I don't care what happened. You don't call the police on your own mom, right? But I guess something about when you come to America, it changes you, because the laws are different. In Africa, if you get a divorce, the children go to the dad. But in America, who do the children go to? So it's a completely different culture and law system, and it leads to a lot of different things. So I don't want to hate on that. We do the same. We have the same issue.
Right. It's the same, in Africa it's patriarchy. Over here it's women, controlling and stuff. But I mean, in Africa, like you said, we are doing the same thing. I think, there's some kind of advantage that we take in even the culture that most of the time we cherish a lot. Is sometimes people see it as a culture where it's been exploitative. You force women to stay in a relationship despite the fact that they are facing so many problems, being beaten, being harassed, being,
Oh, Judah, don't start it. Don't start it.
oh
Oh,
yeah, come on. I mean, of course, me and you know that, most women not actually, comfortable with it, but they just want to build that family, community. That's why they stay longer in marriage. So like you said, man, every community has their own down and ups, in the way they do things. But I mean, I wouldn't, say it's a bad thing, but at the same time, I believe that Africans have that culture is still, a good thing. If you ask me, there might be some downfall, some flaws in it, but I still believe that we still have that, that's the spirit in us in such a way that we know bad from wrong, or this is wrong, this is not good. Whereas in other communities in Europe, Americas, and probably, other cultures, they don't see that. They just believe in now, now, now. A person in America wouldn't mind having kids with five different women, and I have, like, people telling you I have nine baby mamas, nine kids with different women. In Africa, still talking about having nine kids with different women might be something that people might look to you like, you crazy, like, what is really going on? Are you normal? So yeah, but because of now we are getting exposed and people are cherishing that kind of life as well, trying to get, baby mamas all over the places in Africa. So yeah,
So hip
go
hop.
ahead, Caesar. So yeah.
What happened? What happened? Africans is still kind of like, if you marry, you almost like marry the family.
Kidola,
If you,
come closer to your mic. Sorry.
I said, if you marry, are you hearing me now?
Yes, you good.
Okay, if you marry, you kind of like marry the family. So most of African foundations of marriage is still based on the family. Only that when you start become like a nuisance, they start say, "Oh, anybody see you with that guy, say, don't, what are you doing with that guy?" So you can see, except you have just run away. But the truth of the matter is, I think when they start bringing these shows, this kind of Jerry Springer and all that kind of shows that they recruited Black Americans to just come and say their story. At first, Black Americans were having good marriages. Like if you watch like Bill Cosby, Will Smith, and those other, all those guys, they were having good. You could watch their marriage life, husband and wife. But it seems like when they brought this Jerry Springer and other shows, it seems like they could pay Black people to come and telling their stories there. You understand me? You know, it seems like they were paying them to just come and vomit out their dirty laundry. Their mama sleeping with her daughter's boyfriend. Some certain deep things that as an African you'll be shocked. I swear to God, my mother came to United States. He came the second time. They thought I didn't want to go anymore. I said, why? He said he don't want to see. he told me he told me that what he saw, that he sees like this part just having birth, but without not knowing the baby, the father of these children, and they fight, they do this, they do that. I said, who? How do you watch this kind of program? He said, yeah, that he saw it in tears. Who want this kind of channel for you? So, I said, the in-law. I said, the in-law just want you to see he just want to you maybe to advise my sister not to follow that path. You understand? You know, so so things are very very. So the third time they asked my mother to visit America, my mother said no, he's not going. That he saw things also in California that the law of homeless. At first it saw America like oh place to be. I think the first visit was overwhelmed. The second visit kind of like kind of like study a lot of things then herself. It's asking they told me some people are better in Africa than staying in America. So some of them they are homeless. He saw Nigerian guys are homeless there. They'll be begging for about, oh man, do you have $10? Do you have this? I said, yeah, mama, but the person did say that not everybody that living abroad have money. If If you lose your insurance, you lose your job, you can be homeless. You know, the third time you didn't want to go back. You don't want to go to the
Yeah.
United States anymore. You say, I'm not going there. Yeah, I like it. So
Yeah.
things
Because,
change.
yeah. Go ahead.
What I mean, what I mean, for my mother is very conservative. You understand? So seeing all this kind of outside marriages, children, and not even knowing the children. 'Cause in Africa, you cannot just have a child without knowing the girl who pregnant you. It's very, very difficult. You understand? You know, you might say, okay, mistake once, second time, man, they would drive you away from the community. They would treat you very badly. So my mother did kind of really understand. People just coming, they're fighting. And I bet you that's why these Korean men also ask, say, oh, are you Black American? Where you from? Are you in America? They have already things in their head about you. And they want to ask you those questions. To an African, they don't really know what to ask. That's also something. If you, oh, no, I'm not Black American, you're an African, they just shut down because they don't really know what to ask you because they don't really know much about your culture. And they can see differences go with the Black America. They want to ask all kind of questions. They want to ask, are you people really fighting? Are you people really like that? Because the Korean already have a very negative image about what they see in TV, that they want to start asking this question. To Africans, they don't nothing to ask. Everything just black there, clean sheet. So
Well, Kidola,
that is the reason.
the thing about the baby mama stuff is interesting is that, like, okay, in Igbo culture, this is before DNA test. If a woman accuses you of, oh, I slept with this man, if you agree that you slept with the woman, the child is yours. End of discussion. That's usually how it works. If the woman says, this guy slept with me, the guy's like, yeah, I slept with her. Okay, you're the father. That's it. But this time of DNA, now you can actually check. And DNA is pretty young. I think that's what's exposing it. Luckily, we don't have DNA in Africa like that, where some people still want to look at the kid's eyes and nose and see if it's theirs. They don't trust DNA. But DNA is the one exposing all this stuff that, wait a minute, we just DNA 3 guys and none of them are the father. So you go find another one. We don't do DNA in Africa like that. If we did it, who knows what kind of nonsense we'll find out. Anyway, Sha.
I think in the long run, I think if all this program they're showing, I think Nollywood wanted to be showing doing some certain nonsense. I think they banned them not to be showing some stupid thing. You understand? Nollywood is also be controlled also at first. Nollywood want to be showing gayness in their program, lesbianism, all kind of something. You know, you know, you
Right.
know,
Exactly.
you know,
We are copying and introducing a lot of things in African milieu that, in the long run is going to be a big problem to us, man.
yeah,
Big
they want
problem.
them, man. Don't show that nonsense again.
That Jerry Springer show, how did they even let that show be on? The way it was, that was an attack on the black woman and the black family. I feel like that shouldn't even be, if they did that in my own community, they would have to ban it.
He was letting people fight on purpose, right? Yeah, if we just fight on purpose. His show was mostly streamed by black people. They fell in love with it. They were doing, they wash all their clothing in public. And that's why in black milieu, most black Americans or black, they have no shame. You see, a shame in Africa. When they say shame, a shame is a big thing in Africa. If it was, you see an African, oh come on, they will shame your whole family. When it comes to shaming, people do not know what shaming is. Shaming in Africa is such a way where in public, people might even be scared going to you with the kind of things you did. I mean, public. You know, even there was this girl that divorced the husband for some reason. They find out that the woman was treating the man badly before she divorced. I mean, that lady did not even get married in the community. People were looking at her crazy. So that's the kind of shaming that people shame you. But in American community now, what does that has to do with you? Like, so it's some kind of a system where, you know, it's you can do what you want to, I don't care about, so look, we should, I mean, even comparing African culture or African way of life to America or blacks is not even acceptable at all. I think we should be. I think we still have the same. I think the white people in America or in Europe still have that the same kind of mindset of living together as one, where husband and wife. The same with African mindset. But when it comes to blacks in America having that same, no, it's not. Yeah, it's not. So I don't know, man. It's just I think things are changing, things are taken out of hand in such a way where blacks are now, traveling to Koreans to look for a man. It seems like our men do not, want these women. We don't cherish our own people at all. We are getting married to different races as well. I'm guessing that's why most other black women are moving to all these other countries to also find love, because our husband, our black men, has abandoned them to the open. So
Judah, it's
says
not
that if you
about
ask me, go ahead.
Judah. It's not even about abandoning them. It's like
Take
I
for
don't want to
take
be
for
rude.
instance, if Kidola got married to this black woman, this woman wouldn't be going to South Korea to look for a
No,
black man. You
no, but
know.
Judah, here's the problem though. Here's the problem, and that's why me personally,
No,
I tend to I only
don't
date
put them
other
on the bus,
Africans like me
man.
because look, here's the problem. These women, like, they have a completely different culture of, in African culture now. Let's say I marry a woman and we have issues. She's gonna go to her mom. Her mom's gonna give her advice on how we can work it out. In their culture, her mom will say, leave him. In fact, they celebrate it. Leave that guy. You don't need him. Leave that nigga. Leave that nigga. You don't need that. I mean, why would I date a woman that this kind of stuff is going on over my own? I mean, in college, you tell a girl that's Indian, Vietnamese, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm studying. I'm studying hard. These girls, just the other day, I was reading a book in the African store, and the woman asked me for my number because I'm reading a book. I don't know if she thinks because I'm reading, I'm smart, and she likes my look. No offense to Black American women. Black American women don't give a fuck if you read a book, man. They want to see that car. Like, that's what an African woman saw me reading a book and want. I mean, I can't even imagine a Black American woman seeing a man reading and saying, wow, he's reading. Maybe he's smart. Let me talk to him. Like, that's not in their
So
culture.
let me
I'm
see that
sorry.
car. What you got? The first thing is what you got. What are you bringing to the table? This, man, come on. They go by what they see, how you dress, the kind of shoes you got. Oh man, yep. It's just a different mindset. You are right, man. It's
Judah, I'll give you an example. If you date one black American girl, you'll be sitting with that girl in the living room, right? Then you tell the girl, man, say, God, man, I got a friend, but this guy, man, is having a lot of money. Man, he's looking for a nice girl, to be his girlfriend and everything. That the same girl you date will tell you, man, oh, do you have his number? Mistakenly will tell you, man, do you have his number?
I'm dead.
Really, really,
oh,
really, really.
she might date the guy too.
Oh, yeah, because you saw that story. You saw that story. You just saw that story just to know they that would tell you how they jump around. You understand me? Because you say this guy have money, he have Mercedes Benz, he have this and that, man. You don't trust no other man. You're looking for a nice girl. You just do you have his number? They will say, what are you looking for his number for? So, oh yeah, I have a friend. No, she want to
Oh,
connect with you.
she's not using a friend, but that's her.
Yeah, yes. You want to connect to the guy because they will ask you what kind of whip was your whip. You understand me? What's your whip? What kind of whip what you rolling with? You understand? That's what's your whip. So now the, the ones that are going to Africa to meet this like African boys, these are like the ones that really reject in United States. The ones that their business is finished, their stock market is no longer existing. So they have about 5, 6 baby children. Then they will go to Africa, pretend they don't have nothing. Then these African boys will start like picking them up, treating them well and everything. Or these guys are United States. Then the guys that say, whoa, this how you are? You understand? So things are, yeah, sorry, man. But even African gets a European, let's just be honest also. I don't think a African gets supposed to leave the continent because in Europe also, African girls have problem of dating also. That's just the truth. Yeah,
And in Canada too. I know Canada, big issue.
yeah. In Europe, they have problem of they have problem of dating because the guys here are not too a lot, but them really having a dating is somehow it's very difficult for them. So some of them will be there for 5 years without not having no boyfriend. You understand? They'll be looking for, but not really. Some of them are not attracted to white men. And except England is just like United States. You know, they just like spoiled over there too, man. Just forget it. They just suck into the system, and I don't understand why the England people will be copying America type of lifestyle. That's what I do really understand. There too, they
How
have
do
a
you
lot.
mean? How do they? What do you mean? How do they copy it? Let me know.
You know, there some of Jamaicans and these Nigerian Africans, Nigerians, because they receive you see you don't need the man to refeed you because they have this their social, the government pay them every month.
Mm.
Uh, you know, so they can have like government help that you will not even know the difference between somebody that work and somebody that is not even working. And they pay child support. If the man is not paying, the government can be paying child support. The, you know, so the woman
Really?
is getting money for yeah. So the woman is getting money for the government for support. You also get the child support also. So this program, these things make some of these African women jump to say, oh yeah, go, I don't need you. Then when these men are gone, then these children become like that's why you see a lot of gangs in England. They're killing themselves with knives and everything. You understand? They're just killing themselves there with knives, especially
Mm.
in London. Yeah. They don't know what to do anymore. They're fighting themselves, killing themselves, you know, because the men are not there. The father is not really there anymore because the woman just want to collect that money. He want to collect that's help, that social help because the money is huge every month. They have a house, they have free house. It's not like American money that is not so big where you pay this. Some European call it social welfare is very huge.
Do you think it's more common for Africans in Europe to marry a woman, like bring a woman from Africa, or have their wife in Africa and they work in Europe and go visit her? Do you think it's more common for Europeans? Because that's what I've always thought, from the outside looking in.
Brother, you should not go and bring your wife from Africa to Europe. It will never benefit you as an African. That can be very dangerous.
Wow.
Because you don't know if you really love you. That's one thing you have to understand. You know, because when they come down here, it's far different.
Hmm. So
You
are
know,
most African? I feel like most African guys, they'll come abroad, but their wife is in Europe, or it's the other way around, where they're still in Africa and their wife is in Europe. But
if you bring an African woman to Europe, we the love is look. Africans can come over here, but they'll just you want to integrate in time into the system. I have uncle who's a medical doctor. He retired now. His wife was calling police on him in the United States. He used it.
damn,
You know what I mean? That even locking him up for a wife. He said, "Oh, he called police is aggressive." I
that's
gotta be,
crazy.
so, but it's not happening too much in the India community, but in Africa community, they want to integrate into the system more than even the system. You understand? So,
Mm.
so the system bringing an African woman to a Western world, you just understand it's not going to respect. After a while, they think he can have a help or he can use you for the passport and tell you goodbye. Why bring you bring somebody from no need. If you want to marry her, leave her in Africa. If you really love you, she'll be there waiting for you. If you just tell you, oh, I want to come to Europe, it's okay. You're not coming to Europe. From there, you divorce her if you want to divorce her. But I'll go. You
Mm.
understand? Because
Okay,
you're going
yeah.
to have
We got a new
headache.
yeah, kiddo, hang on. We got a new panelist. What's good, Marie? I think it's the first time on the audio part of the conversation. Yeah, go ahead. Mike is yours. Don't know what you want to add to the conversation.
Oh, yes. Hello. Oh, hi. Are you
Bonjour.
able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you well.
Oh, okay. Yes. I just wanted to come on because I see a lot of people just, they're talking about Black American women, and like I'm a Black American woman, and I understand because like I did grow up in a single parent household, but like I do know my father and my father's in my life, but not all of us are the same. I mean, I know people stereotype all of us, but I don't feel like I'm a bad person. Like, I grew up in a good home and things like that. And like, I'm a nurse, and like, I don't feel like I'm a bad person. And I do date an African guy, and he loves me and I love him, and we will be married soon. But for people to just, I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to come up and speak because I just wanted to like defend Black American women. I mean, I'm not all of us are bad people. So, I mean, some of us are bad. I mean, some of us have bad attitudes and things like that, but some of us are good. We have a good personality, things like that, just like other women. So, I don't know. I just wanted to come up and just speak about that.
So yeah, sorry, it's good. I want to ask you. So I want to ask you a question because it's good that you're here. Uh, you see, uh, Africans don't really know nothing about uh, Africans in Africa don't really know much about Black Americans. Sometimes maybe through TV. The TV they were showing to us as Africans in Africa was kind of like more family oriented kind of way of life. Maybe there was this kind of social, this kind of hip hop kind of things whereby what they call shake the tape further, by Puff Daddy and all these guys, so they were showing us more with Big Cosby, husband and wife with children, normal kind of like hippie gibby at home, children, the man is in charge, those are things we didn't know much about Black Americans, the Big Cosby show, the Will Smith kind of shows, different stroke. But when hip hop started having some foothold in Africa, whereby the video started coming in there, then we start seeing total different type of other side that we were not seeing before, whereby hip hop, with because in Africa where there's nothing like strip club in Africa. Maybe they have now, so we start seeing this hip hop women wearing pants, they just dance and dance without no really in Africa wearing pants is like almost like a shame, I'm like, what you doing? You crazy? So we start seeing the girls with high heel with pants, the Beyonce kind of like wear pants and everybody just clap, oh, you look good, you look good, you look good. Then after that, this hip hop, they call Jerry Springer. Man, that Jerry Springer destroyed it. Jerry Springer destroyed the whole thing what we just see about Black Americans. We was thinking, okay, if it's an attack, I think it was a perfect attack. So I want to ask you something. You grew up as an American, right? Your mindset is like a Western mindset. Will you understand with your husband, with your fiance now in Africa, that there's a certain things that he's not used to that you might try to project, but without you not knowing. Let's just assume, right,
Mm-hmm.
that he's not used to every time hugging because it's not what in Africa they don't hug at all. Some of they never see their father and mother hugging at all. You understand him? Also, kind of heavy affections that he's not really used to. Will you able to understand that sometimes you have to take it slow with this kind of people with him that is not used to heavy type of it's type of affection is like smile and do something nice, like not kind of like physical touching, but smile and just some kind of moves that he's used to. Maybe the father and mothers are doing. Because in Africa, parents just rub the kid's head. So affection with mother and father is not by really hugging or kissing that some of Africans grow up with. Let's assume you used to this kind of lifestyle. How you gonna move with him and let's assume he's not looking at your face directly because African people don't look at face directly. They look towards the other side. You understand? They don't like you talk because you used to like, oh, look at me. Like you used to like gaze into eyes to know the person's mind. Africans are not like that. So how you gonna navigate some kind of nuances that he's not really used to until he got there with you? Are you gonna be patient enough to know that he really love you, but he's not used to your type of affection that you used to. How you gonna handle such a problem when you start encountering this problem continuously?
Ola, okay, so my boyfriend, well, my man, he's Sierra Leonean, and
Go on.
African Americans that got Sierra Leone citizenship. So I've been adopted. Well, I adopted into a village in Moyamba in Sierra Leone because African Americans, we are African descent. Now culturally, we're not like not our faults because we was like taken from Africa and brought to America. So that's kind of like not our fault, but also um my man, he has grew up in the West. He has did high schooling in Europe and things like that, so he's a little bit westernized too. But me, like I said, I told him I like him more in his African traditional wear and things like that. I'm trying to learn the Mende language and things like that, so I'm trying to assimilate back into the African culture. Also, my fifth great grandparents are African. One of my great grandmother, she was born in Guinea. She's Mendinka and Fola. So I am like part Mendinka. So I'm African. I'm sorry, like I'm African descent that grew up in America. So I mean, I like we're doing just fine. I'm willing to learn about his culture and things like that. That's what I'm doing. So I don't know. Like, this is what I don't like when African American women, when they date Africans and they don't try to learn about their culture, they don't try to learn how to cook the food or learn the language and stuff. Me, I'm doing that. Like, I'm trying to learn how to cook the food, learning the language and stuff. I actually been to Sierra Leone. I've been to Nigeria and stuff like that. So I'm actually trying to assimilate into the culture. So I don't know. That's all I have to say about that.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm just only saying that you know let me use an example of a Nigerian guy. A Nigerian guy can be very liberal when you meet him the first time, right? It will bring us to kind of maybe is watching it, depending on his level of education, right? He can be very liberal, maybe he's watching TV, he's very educated. But when he start knowing you really, when everything started kind of like going up about a year, then he start coming up with his conservativeness. To start saying, "Ah, that is not." You start seeing that he's changing because he's not going towards what he knows more. Maybe was trying to woo you. What I'm trying to say, I like your effort. You have a very good effort on it. That doesn't mean that your both of you have to compromise on this other, put your type of culture, but that he brought his own culture, but you put take the best part of both cultures and assimilate it together. You put create your own culture, move on. But what I'm just trying to say is, it seems like your fiance live in Africa, that there are some nuances that he might not get used to that you used to. Like, you might be with him that you just tell your friends. See, in America, it's easy to you and your girlfriend to say, "Oh, I love you, girl." You understand? In Africa, that can be very strange for them also. You understand? There's a certain things that you must say that you think is normal. Maybe it can be a call to your body, to your girlfriend, or to just a friend of yours. You just say, "Oh, man, I love you. Have a great day. Bye." An African man will freak out. You know what I mean? An African man will freak out by just hearing that alone. That's what I'm trying to say. That there's a big. Okay, you said this your guy went to school in Europe, and if it can seem like he's westernized a little bit, but still, as long as he live in Africa, that everything that he knows now. African culture is very thick, so that's why we just try to know the nuance. The nuances, the differences. Some of comment, speech. You know, things that a little bit different. Like in Nigeria, you can't tell Nigeria guy, "Shut up, let me speak." That for him is a very big insult. You understand me? But in America, you people are used to like, "Shut up, let me speak." It cannot be something like,
No.
oh, an insult. You start, or I'm speaking now. Shut up, let me speak. So these are nuances that Africans are not really used to. That I'm saying that when Africa, because in the Western world, there's total different type of things that are going on in the Western world. Gazing, look at me, I'm talking to you, look at me. Or when the person is not looking at you, you can say, oh, he's lying. But for an African, gazing at somebody's eyes is not really an African thing because they don't really gaze into their mother's or father's eyes. You understand? They look at you, they just turn. They look at you a little not so they don't gaze, they just turn to the other side. Only when they're really pissed at you, now I want to be nasty, they will gaze and look at you and show you that I'm ready to, I'm pissed. So if African person is not pissed, it does not gaze into your eyes. Even friends, we kind of look turn. You can greet your friend without only gazing into his gaze into someone's eyes in Africa is almost like you prepare for a battle. You understand? So you might be with your husband or with your fiance, he might not be gazing into your eyes continuously, but you can know through his doings, his smile, the way he reacts. Because we're not really used to society things that other people in the West used to. In the West, you can do some other things. So that's what I'm just saying because there's a differences between yes, Black Americans are some of them say they're not Africans. I know, that's another topic. But I'm just saying we're not generalizing it, but there's a cultural differences that yes, but if you people take the time to know each other, you people can compromise on each other culture. And do you want to have children for him? Do you people have to have children?
Yeah, like we want to have like one or two. I don't have any kids yet, but he does have one kid. But yeah, I do want to have a child. I do want to have kids one day, but I want to wait till I'm married first. I don't want to just, you know.
Oh, it's good. If you people have children, you don't have children with that. That means you're a perfect woman for him. That because having Africa with women that have children is no area, no matter what it is.
Kidola, can I chime in?
Yeah, chime in, bro. Let's talk to her because you're the one staying in the United States.
So Maria Shai, you have such a nice voice. Thank you for calling in. And congratulations on your fiance. Congrats. That's pretty awesome. Um, so the
Oh,
thing
thank you.
about
Really appreciate
yeah,
that.
yeah, congrats. I hope it all works out. I hope you have a million kids for him. It's like no, but so I feel like maybe it's a PR thing because there's a lot of beautiful black women. Obviously, black American women are African. I mean, come on, they're African, right? That's obvious. I mean, look at you, you're African, right? Maybe it's a PR thing. I think some African guys have this. I mean, marriage is a political decision. It's an economic decision, right? And I feel like maybe there's this PR that the relationship that Americans, not even just Black Americans, but Americans in general, the relationship they have with divorce and being single. Certain conversations I've had with Black American women, well, I don't need a man because my mom didn't need a man, so why would I need a man? You would never really hear that coming out of the mouth of other groups. And I think that's what makes some men a little scared. But in the end, those are stereotypes. It's true. There's a lot of Black American women who aren't like that, right? But so I hope that didn't offend you. But that is a thing that is in the mind of some men where they're like, oh, and she's gone. Oh darn. But that is in the mind of some guys like shit. Is this a risk I want to take? I don't want to take that risk because it's a lifelong decision. Maybe she'll call back in. Zongo is a Hausa dude. He has an African American chick. It's even in his picture. So maybe he wants to chime in and defend. I hope we didn't say anything too harsh. Yikes. But we didn't say anything that wasn't on Jerry Springer. We were just talking about the show. I mean, come on. I didn't fund Jerry Springer the show. Kaizo, what say you? Is Kaizo even there, bro?
Caesar.
What's up?
Caesar.
What's up?
You see, why I was asking her that question, because there's a difference between us and anybody, between a typical Nigerian and anybody that is that grew up in the West. Like me,
Hmm.
my wife is European,
Hmm.
So when I met her, was different because there's a certain things that I'm not used to that she projects that for me was strange. Like, okay, like that kind of affection, hugging. I'm not really used to it because I've never been hugged or me have to hug somebody. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
know.
I know that
So
feeling. Yeah.
yeah, so I have to get used to, especially those kind of public affection. You know what I mean? So I have to like, okay. So at first, I would just grab, but not with that kind of intention of their type of affection. So I go, okay, then I'll push a little bit. Then she will come and push a little bit. I said, no, like I don't really because I'm not used to it. So it take time, it take about a year, 2 years even,
Mm.
for me to get used to this kind of affection. She'll be drop your hand, you just drop your hand. She will come direct towards me, just hold me, just grab me a little bit. She was taking it step at a time, Then I get used to it. So you can see that there's some without not knowing, not the person fault, but that's how the way she grew up. She was she was being shown an affection at home. The father and mother they live it. See, she grew up in a father and mama at home. You understand? you
Mm.
know. So even when we have argument, so sometimes much quarreling, but we just okay. She will find her way to come in and settle the matter because she learned that from her mother and dad. You know what I mean? You know.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is there are some certain things that you would do that the person you date in Africa is not used to.
Mm.
Like you can call your girlfriend and say, I love you, girl. African person will freak out.
Mm.
You understand with it, whoa, what you love who? Because that word love for them is very huge. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So that's why I'm just saying you can say you date these guys, but once in a while, your westernness will always come in because it's not your fault, but that is the type of culture you grew up with. You understand me? You know? So they say sometimes, like, you also wipe also. Sometimes you think you'll be looking for apathy, sometimes from societies from a white person, it will not project that apathy. That when you think, oh, you know, you, that sorriness is not really too much with them. You know what I mean? You know, So that's what I said. Because the Black Americans grew up in this Western way of life. They might not totally adopt Western culture, but it's in their culture. You understand me? They not adopt to different type of their own also by running away. What we see now by leaving. Run men will just have children, they'll just run, leave the house. You know what I mean? They'll never
Mm.
come back again. Those are their type of culture. So
Well, I
that's why I
think
just
it's when our cultures come together, there's going to be some getting rid of the good and bad by the grace of God. And I think some of these differences will go away. I really do think that.
yes, that differences will take some time. They will clash. There will be clash. There will be argument. There will be uh, 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 all kind of things. Then slowly, one person have to be patient. You
Yep.
understand? The patient one have to say, okay, let me really study this person. Why is it like that? My wife was very patient because you start uh, uh, thinking, why am I, you know, you know, why am I saying no, 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 no? But you just have to understand that I can easily say sorry because to them, sorry is very difficult. You understand me? You
Yeah.
know, sorry is very difficult. So sometimes I just, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it. So, but you do it in the next time. You do it. So I say, I don't know if I'm doing it in the next time. So these are things that she studied as okay, this is how do they behave. So every take picture, then we create, okay, part of my culture, then I know, okay, this is how do they do things, you understand? But I always try to make sure that I dominate as a man. You understand me? In some certain ways. You
Wait, so
understand?
can I comment on something? Even though
Yeah.
I grew up in the US, I'll be honest with you, this is the one thing I don't agree with black American men when they say this. Ryan said, "It's simple, guys. Your woman is not yours. It's just your turn. When you understand that, you understand all women." I don't know if you agree. I never. What do you mean? She's not mine. It's just my turn, bro. I don't believe in that. Do you believe in that? I'm curious.
No, 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 because you see, that guy look like black American. That's the way they project things. You understand? Uh as long you you understand each other, this you working together, you driving this in the same direction. I think that relationship should be stable, just like the African relationship. Woman in Africa, our mothers marry our fathers, and they do them apart. You know what I mean? You know, but we start having that motion. Oh, it's not yours. That's when that become a problem, right? When the man understand this woman is not mine, he's not going to stay. You understand me? He's not going to stay.
Ryan, I want you to call in and actually share this because how many relationships has she been in before you? Not too many. I don't be dealing with the high body ones, bro. That's for y'all, not me.
No, if you will know a woman that is with all kind of dick eye, you will know in time, man.
Yeah.
Look, women can't hide that shit. You will just one with one annoyance, she will say a lot of things, but she will lose herself up after. So I'm sorry, I don't know. You know, with her doings and everything. What I mean is that if you're going for fun, maybe don't lead to marriage. Okay, you can kick it and let it go. But if you think maybe I want to settle down with this person, man, you have to do a lot of digging there if it's your type that you will be with. Because at first, men are not still falling in love in time, but when they start falling in love, they want to keep the pussy. You know what I mean? You know?
Exactly. Thank
Uh-huh.
you.
So then, if you think you but go through that road of falling in love, you need to dig deep. Is she the type of person you will be with? Is she who is she? Is she the one with high body count that you think it's a dog but pretending to be housewife? These are the things you need to look for yourself. So you don't have to start looking for a woman that have a lot of body count that you think that woman's going to be your wife. Hell no. They say in Nigeria, a gutter can never, you cannot turn a gutter to be a housewife. You know
Thank
what I mean?
you. Hey.
So that's what I just trying to say. I've been with my woman. I've been with my wife for 26 years. It was 26.
Wow.
This
God bless
yeah,
you. That's not easy.
yeah, that's a very long time. You know what I mean? So when we were starting, there are certain things I'm not really used to. That's what I say. I'm not used to hugging. I'm not used to kissing. You know, but these are things that I have to learn for years, 2 years plus. Even the hug it take 2 years. Then the kissing is not really kissing, just like okay, lips. But she found out that I really love her in another form. Just by maybe holding her hand, I smile. I give her something. She look at me like, okay, thank you. So these are things, but take time for me to understand. Okay, this is the way she grew up with, but that's not the way. But my dad never hugged me. My mom never hugged me. You said so. Maybe when I was small, I don't know. So this I said, other cultures. If you grew up like in Western culture, you experience this thing, but Africans are not really used to it. We're just like people that are very, very. Our fashion is different. So let me, Maria Shah, do you have anything to say? Do you have anything to say? Hello? I would like to ask you a lot of questions if your mic is good. Mary, do you have anything to say? Kazu. Hey, Kazu is asleep. Okay, well, so like your connection is not so good. Are you there? Hello. Whoa.
All right. Let me shut it down. I think everybody's gone.